Welcome. I wanted to give you a quick overview of what the Shortcode Scrubber plugin is all about. Right now, I'm in my WordPress dashboard. The plugin is not active. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to plugins, and I've already gone through the install process. If you don't actually have the plugin, you can click on Add New, type in Shortcode Scrubber, and it should pull right up. But as you can see, I have two plugins active. One's called Impress Image Refresh. It happens to have a shortcode in it. Another one's Post of the Day. It also has a shortcode in it. And we're going to now activate the Shortcode Scrubber plugin, which is what this video is about. So I'm going to click the Activate button to activate it. It's active. And as you can see, there's something a little different about the plugins here. And one of those things is that it says check for shortcodes next to each of the plugins. Basically, anytime a professional or someone who's not a professional goes to turn off a plugin, there's a chance that that plugin has shortcodes that that person doesn't know about. And by turning off that plugin, you're actually breaking things on your site that you're not aware of. So the beauty of this is you can just click this check for shortcodes button, and it will jump you straight to any shortcodes that are registered by that particular plugin. From here, you can check to see if the shortcodes are actually in use. So I can click this link here to find uses of the shortcode in a post, and I can click here to find uses of the shortcode in a widget. So we'll pull both of those tabs up, and so here we have all of the posts where this particular shortcode is in use. So as you can see, the Hello World post is a post type. It's published and it is using that shortcode. So I'm going to hit edit. And as you can see, indeed, this shortcode is in use here. And so now you could potentially edit this content to remove it if you wanted to disable the plugin, or there are actually some other tools that we've built into the plugin here that would make it easier for you to remove all instances of this kind of thing. Another one here is instances of the shortcode in widgets. So as you can see, we have this shortcode here that's in use, and it is in the widget area called Footer 1, and it is a text widget. You can click on the name of that widget there, and it'll jump you straight to the customizer where the widget is registered, and here you can see, indeed, we have the Impress Image Refresh shortcode is active here. And again, if you wanted to remove it or whatever you want to do with it, at least now you know where it is, and you know that it is in use, and that plugin that you're about to disable, maybe you shouldn't do it right away because you'll break things on your site. So that is the first use case for this. Essentially, the shortcodes section here gets added when you activate the plugin. So when you click on shortcodes, it's going to list all the shortcodes that WordPress knows about. Now, in this case, it's just a few core shortcodes and then a couple of shortcodes that are registered by a couple of plugins. It's very possible that you might have a plugin that registers literally hundreds of shortcodes, so you would have more than 9 items. But you can filter by context, whether it's registered by WordPress core, a plugin, maybe a theme that you're using, or if you want to specifically look for all of the shortcodes registered by a particular plugin, like we did with the Image Refresh plugin, you can do that as well. And for any of these, you can find uses of the plugin, of the shortcode in a post or in a widget context. And you also have the ability to click Manage, but we'll come back to that in a bit. So if I click Find Post Usages, this is going to show me all posts that have shortcodes of any type in them. And as you'll notice, in this case, we have one that is actually red here, and that's because that shortcode doesn't really exist. It's not registered in WordPress. WordPress doesn't know about it. It's not really a shortcode that's active. It's actually appearing as broken on your site. So if we go and click to edit this particular post, we'll see that indeed there is a shortcode here that is indeed not really a shortcode. But the cool thing about this plugin is automatically when you activate Shortcode Scrubber, when you go to view your post, it's not actually going to show the broken shortcode on your site because all broken shortcodes are automatically turned off for your site when you activate this plugin. So, but if I were to disable, for example, or turn off this plugin, Yo-Yo would start to show up in the content on my site, just like it does here, which is obviously not something you really want, especially if you have a page builder tool that you've turned off where you literally have thousands of shortcodes. Shortcode Scrubber, all you got to do is activate it and all that trash goes away. So that is an overview of seeing all the posts that have shortcodes, and of course those that aren't really shortcodes, so you can clean those up. You can also go into widgets and see all the widgets that are using shortcodes. In this case, we still just have the one, but if, for example, there was a shortcode that was not really registered, it would show up in red here, the same as it did on the other page. Another cool feature here is manage filters. So filters are just ways that you can say, you know, I have a shortcode that's doing something, but I really don't want it to do that thing right now. So let's say we took the Impress image refresh, and actually let me just show you what it actually is doing. So if we go back to the post that was using, I believe it's Hello World. So Hello World's using the Impress image refresh shortcode. So if I go to view this post, it's actually doing something where it shows an image here, right? Now filters basically allow me to customize what happens with a particular shortcode. So I select my shortcode, or if perchance there's a shortcode that doesn't exist, I could type it in here even. And so we hit continue, and basically what we're going to do here for this shortcode is we can have the option to strip or disable. Strip means that basically some shortcodes have opening and closing tags, which means they have content inside of them. In this case, you can actually strip will get rid of everything. Disable will just keep the content, but disable whatever that shortcode does. In this case, we'll just hit strip and apply. And so what this is going to do is it's basically going to disable this image refresh thing. So when I hit view all filters, it takes me to a new page that didn't exist before because there was nothing on it. But now that there's something there, we have a shortcode filters page. And it shows that basically for Impress image refresh shortcode, we're removing all instances of the shortcode and discarding the shortcode content. So now what that means is when I come here, it shouldn't actually do anything, even though the shortcode's still there. And if I change my mind and I say, oh, I really don't want to disable that anymore, I just delete the filter, and now the functionality will come right back, and it will just put in a random image. So, and the cool thing is that if you're a developer, you can actually register your own custom shortcode filters. So right now we just have strip and disable, but you can actually contextually create filters for shortcodes that will allow you to do migrations or all kinds of different things. So think of things like being able to take a shortcode and convert it into a Gutenberg block, or any number of things that you can think of. You can create filters for those, and you can even package those up as separate plugins that would interact with this one in order to provide migrations from, you know, maybe particular page builders to another tool or something like that. So, so that's a quick overview. There are advanced options if you wanted to permanently get rid of all the shortcodes. You could do that as well. If you needed to permanently clean up your site, you could do that, but we do recommend, as it says in bright red here, that you do a backup before you do that, just in case, although this should be pretty safe. So that's a quick run through of the Shortcode Scrubber plugin. Hopefully you enjoy it, and if you have any feedback or run into any issues or have some ideas for new features, feel free to let me know. Thanks.